Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Here in the Live Center, we're following breaking news out of Chapel Hill. What we know about an incident with a barricaded person.
And Hurricane Aaron, a Category 1 storm, moving away from us, but we still have those impacts. The next thing to watch is high tide. I'll show you when that happens coming up.
Recovering from Aaron, Governor Josh Stein will be on the Outer Banks today to check out the damage. This morning, one more storm-driven high tide could cause more problems. And that's because the dunes and the beach erosion already much more vulnerable as that water comes through, and it could create more flooding. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock on your Friday. We made it to Friday after quite a week. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levingo. Yeah, we'll show you more of the aftermath of Aaron in just a bit. But first, we do want to look at our weather forecast of where Hurricane Aaron is now. We have Amy Wilmoth, who's looking at that at this very moment.
It's a Category 1 storm. It is far from North Carolina, over 600 miles away, but we still have those impacts. Dangerous rip currents, very rough surf, and right now we're monitoring the high tides this morning. This is going to happen about an hour from now, between 7 and 7:30 on the ocean side. On the sound side, high tide between 8 and 8:30 this morning. Additional flooding expected. As Renee mentioned, because some of the dunes were breached, we had a lot of ocean overwash. It's likely that that's going to cause additional flooding this morning. This is a live look at Beaufort, Taylor's Creek here. High tide is coming in the next couple of hours along Taylor's Creek, and we'll keep you posted on any impacts with additional flooding there. 70 degrees right now in Raleigh. It really feels nice outside today. Maybe you're headed to do some back to school shopping today. No rain worries, a mix of sun and clouds, and comfortable highs in the low to mid 80s. I'll show you when we could see some rain over the weekend coming up. Grant?
This is looking great so far this morning on all of our roadways on this Friday morning. Hope you've enjoyed your start to the day. Here's I-440, the I-40 and I-440 interchange. You can see no delays there. Also not seeing any delays across the capital city or the Bull City this morning. So should be a pretty smooth commute overall. You can see a 1-minute delay from Wake Forest. That's been pretty consistent over the past 15 to 20 minutes, but you can see almost everywhere is in the green, so shouldn't have any issues this morning. Also in the Bull City, all is in the green so far. If you're heading to the car, tune us in on the radio on 101.5 HD3.
Here in the Live Center, we're following breaking news of a barricaded person in Chapel Hill. We're working with limited information, but what we do know is that it's on East Franklin Street. Let me show you where that is. Police tell us there that this is the Sienna Hotel. We're working to learn more about this incident, but they tell us that this initially came in as a structure fire call around 4:30 this morning. And they say that the building has been evacuated. No one has been hurt so far, but this could also impact your commute if you're coming around this area. They say that East Franklin Street is shut down as they work to get this barricaded person out of that hotel. We will have a crew that's on the way to this scene, and we'll bring you updates as we get them.
We will monitor that situation. Destiny, thank you. Governor Josh Stein will be on the Outer Banks today to assess the damage from Hurricane Aaron. The storm never made landfall, but communities are dealing with flooding. Parts of Highway 12 are shut down due to overwash. Homes and businesses were hit by high waves, and roads were covered in standing water. WRAL's Sean Gallagher is live in Nags Head this morning as cleanup gets underway. And Sean, the question for a lot of folks, how did Highway 12 hold up?
Yeah, and we're going to have to wait a little over an hour, and even until that high tide recedes before we'll know. But conditions are actually really great right now. There's no rain. Winds are very light, a lot different than it was just yesterday. But they're hoping to see these road signs will go down today after this morning's high tide. But take a look at this video. It was taken during the evening high tide in Buxton Thursday. Waves washing under and through those buildings with major pieces of debris, including entire staircases left scattered. And similar scenes are possible during this morning's high tide, which is expected just over an hour from now. NCDOT says once those waters start to drop, crews are hoping to turn their attention to cleaning up the sand and water from the overwash, of course, but also looking closely for any damage that may have been left behind on the roadways, especially the big one, Highway 12. But so far, they're feeling optimistic.
We have seen no indication of any actual road damage at this point, but there is road that's still covered with sand and water, and until that is cleared, we won't be able to make a final determination as to whether there's any actual pavement damage.
And Governor Josh Stein will be making a trip to the coast today to survey that damage and also meet with all of the crews who have been working tirelessly this week as they have plenty of work still ahead. In Nags Head, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
And it was a similar story for people up north as Hurricane Erin moved away from our coast. Parts of New Jersey dealt with floodwaters and giant waves yesterday. What you're seeing here is video of standing water along the streets of Atlantic City. And on Long Island, giant waves pounded the beaches there. At one point, Erin reached nearly 600 miles from end to end. And that is larger than roughly 90% of the tropical storms that have moved through the same part of the Atlantic. Folks, just a reminder, you can count on WRAL to bring you updates on storms throughout hurricane season. This is why you should download the WRAL weather app to use our interactive hurricane tracker.
While we monitor cleanup from Hurricane Erin, there is a question looming. Is North Carolina prepared to handle the next storm? Our NC Capitol team reports that North Carolina has $100 million for disaster response, down from $700 million at the start of the year. And state lawmakers haven't passed a new budget to replenish that money. Meanwhile, the federal government is lagging months behind in disaster funding. You can find what Governor Stein and other leaders have to say about getting ready for the next storm on WRAL.com.
Time is 6:05. High school football returns tonight. As players take to the field, fan safety is a focus for Wake County schools. Let's go ahead and bring in Kelsey Coffey. She's live at Athens Drive High School in Raleigh. And Kelsey, there are new security measures in place, and this is because we have seen violence at other places.
Yes, Chris, the Friday night lights are back on here at Athens Drive High School, and safety is a top priority for Wake County schools going into this new football season. Their clear bag policy is still in place, and just remember that even if you do bring this clear bag, it could still be searched once you get to the stadium. Now, some schools have specific rules this football season. Millbrook High does not allow tailgates in the parking lot. You also cannot re-enter their stadium if you leave. And students must bring their IDs to all Enlow High School football games. No outside food or drink will be allowed. Schools district-wide are enforcing more safety protocols. You will not be allowed to gather in certain areas like parking lots or behind bleachers. Parents, you have to pick your student up immediately after the game. You're not allowed to wait in the parking lot. Football Friday begins tonight on WRAL at a new time, so you can tune in tonight at 11:15. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And just a reminder, new rules are in place for people going to high school football games in Cumberland County. This begins tonight. The school district's new clear bag policy goes in place, and students and fans are allowed to bring one clear bag to games. There will be exceptions, though, for things like your diaper bags and medical bags. The district says this will help create a more efficient and safe environment at games.
TikTok employees are raising concerns about the social media app's potential harm for users' mental health. That's according to newly unsealed video in a North Carolina lawsuit. Our state is suing TikTok and other social media companies, saying the algorithms are harmful for young people. A North Carolina judge unsealed internal video calls between TikTok employees who described the platform's effect on mental health. TikTok fought to keep some of the video evidence secret. It says the comments are taken out of context.
I mean, the product in itself has baked into it compulsive use.
We obviously wanted people to spend as much time as possible on TikTok, which can be in contrast to what is best for your mental health.
State Attorney General Jeff Jackson tells WRAL the video is proof social media companies know they are designing their apps to hook our children, even at the expense of their health. TikTok has defended itself against those accusations. It points to new changes like parental controls.
A group of Wake County teachers wants the school system to keep better track of its heating and its air conditioning needs and costs. The Wake chapter of the North Carolina Association of Educators says making regular cost estimates would help the district get more work done. They say this is critical because of all the problems they have had with HVAC systems in schools, even the new ones.
Students deserve to learn in classrooms where temperatures are regulated and the air is clean.
The state requires all school systems to make these estimates about every 5 years. The school board just approved a contract to help them do that on Tuesday. The total cost of HVAC needs may be available by January.
Two separate hoax reports of active shooters on college campuses are being investigated today. The first one was at Villanova University in Pennsylvania. Students were forced into a lockdown during new student orientation and registration. Police searched the campus but did not find a shooter. The other incident happened at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Police there got a 911 call about an armed person on campus. They, too, searched the campus and found no evidence of an active shooter. The FBI is helping in the investigation.
Lyle Menendez is scheduled to have his parole hearing today, and his brother Eric was denied parole at his own hearing yesterday. The brothers were convicted of murdering their parents back in 1989, and they were both originally sentenced to life without parole. They were resentenced earlier this year to allow for the possibility of parole. Eric, though, will have to wait 3 more years before he can pursue parole again.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in cuts to federal research grants are moving forward. North Carolina and other states sued President Donald Trump earlier this year over his efforts to cut scientific and medical grants. UNC and Duke alone receive over $1 billion a year from these research grants. Other local universities and some businesses receive millions more. The U.S. Supreme Court has now weighed in with a partial ruling in Trump's favor. The new ruling allows Trump to move forward with cutting some grants, but not all.
All right, you got to check this out. WRAL is getting an exclusive sneak peek at a redesign and upgrade at Raleigh's Crabtree Valley Mall. What you're seeing here are renderings, part of a project to update the space and make it more vibrant, and emphasis on the vibrant. As you may recall, the mall has a new owner, and the new plans include an updated parking deck, some cosmetic upgrades inside, and the mall is more than 200,000 square feet. And so we're told there will be more stores and entertainment concepts on the way, too.
6:10 now on your Friday morning. Recovering from Erin, the work people on Atlantic Beach are facing after the storm eroded portions of the sand.
And look out for snakes. Ooh, while your chance of coming across one of these is increased during hurricane season.
And the weekend overall looking pretty good. Dry on Saturday, but a few storms Sunday. I'll walk you through the hour-by-hour forecast with Futurecast from the mountains to the coast coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in for Elizabeth this morning. 70 degrees right now in and around the Triangle, 68 in Goldsboro. It's a nice start to your Friday. Your morning commute looking good. Temperatures in the upper 60s through about 8 a.m., low 70s by 9 a.m. No rain in the forecast for the morning commute, not for the evening commute either. Maybe a day to have lunch outside. Should be nice at noon today, partly cloudy, a temperature of 77. And then perhaps you want to head to the pool. It'll be pretty nice, not too hot. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds, 84 in Raleigh and Durham, 86 for the high temperature in Fayetteville. Dinner outside, also an option today. It'll be warm but dry. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s. We do have another cold front that's headed our way. It brings a taste of fall by next week. I'll show you when lows could approach the upper 50s coming up. Grant?
Yeah, I was watching Glenwood Avenue a second ago, but they turned the camera, and now you can't see anything. I saw one car kind of turn that way, so there was a little something there a second ago, but now you can't see anything. So that's not going to be any help this morning. I'll take a look at the capital city. No delays so far this morning. Everything's in the green so far. Actually, there was a 1-minute delay from Wake Forest, but now that's gone, so we shouldn't have any issues there. And also in the Bowl City, not seeing any delays so far this morning. Heading to the car, you can tune us in on the radio. That's 101.5 HD3.
Grant, thank you. People up and down the North Carolina coast are returning to beaches to get a look at conditions after Hurricane Erin. In Carteret County, which includes Atlantic Beach and Beaufort, officials say some roads only had some minor standing water. Beach erosion and rip currents are still a concern. Red flags were flying yesterday afternoon. Some people say Erin is just the beginning of what could be an intense hurricane season.
As the water continues to get hotter, as our atmosphere continues to get hotter, those storms are going to be increasing, and the size of Erin was massive.
The National Weather Service says rip current risks are still a factor heading into today.
NC Poison Control is warning about the extended risks for hurricanes beyond just the water itself. They say hurricane season also lines up with an increase in carbon monoxide poisoning. That is from people running generators and using charcoal grills. Carbon monoxide poisoning can quickly turn deadly. Authorities warn people not to use a generator or charcoal grill within 30 feet of your home, and especially don't put it inside your home. Venomous snake bites are also reported more often after natural disasters.
Venomous snakes. They are everywhere in North Carolina. In general, as long as we leave them alone, they leave us alone. The problem is during a hurricane, everything's disrupted. They are where they aren't normally, and we are where we aren't normally. And unfortunately, they do meet up.
Yeah, just let them do their snake thing. Errors with medication can also happen after a disaster, especially when people are forced to evacuate. NC Poison Control says to clearly label all medication and set reminders to take regularly scheduled doses. You are not allowed to say, there's nothing to do this weekend. We got block parties, food trucks, and art festivals.
And we'll have great weather for all this stuff. It's time to take a look at your out and about weekend best bets. Thousands of NC State students and members of the Wolfpack community will be celebrating a new semester tomorrow. The annual Packapalooza block party will be taking place on Hillsborough Street. It will include music, entertainment, and food. The party will last from 2 to 10 p.m. It is open to the public.
And Sunday is a great day for food truck lovers. More than 50 trucks will be at the Raleigh Food Truck Rodeo downtown. People will get a chance to support locally owned vendors, and that event will be on Fayetteville Street from noon until 7 p.m.
Tomorrow is the last day of the Uproar Festival of Public Art in Orange County. The festival started on August 1st. Artists from across the Southeast have been competing for cash prizes voted on by the public and a panel of experts. The festival has taken place throughout downtown Chapel Hill, Carborough, and Hillsborough. For more weekend fun, visit WRAL.com and search Out and About.
And as you indicated, this weekend it's going to be perfect to get out in terms of weather. We have Amy Wilmoth, who has been watching that very closely, but also there's a cool down on the way.
I know. I'm looking forward to next week. For the middle and end of next week, temperatures really cool down nicely. The dew point crashes as well. Something to look forward to. You could look forward to the weekend too. 84 Saturday, below normal, partly cloudy. It is dry. As Chris mentioned, lots to do this weekend. Renee was talking about it as well. Just a few spotty storms Sunday with a high temperature of 86. We're continuing to monitor Hurricane Erin. We're approaching high tide along the North Carolina coast, along the Outer Banks. So additional flooding is possible within the next couple of hours. And then they'll have another high tide that could bring a little bit of flooding this evening as well. So that's still something to monitor. We also have a few systems in the Atlantic to watch. This one has an 80% chance of development. It stays out to sea, not worried about it. This one has a 60% chance of development. Now, there are some indications that it might go into the Gulf of Mexico as we head into the first week of September, but there's still a lot of time to watch that, and some models do not develop it into anything. So we'll just have to keep a close eye on it. Futurecast from the mountains all the way to the coast this weekend. So we'll cover wherever you're headed if you're headed somewhere in North Carolina. Today, the best chance for rain is going to be over the western part of the state in the North Carolina mountains. Heading into Saturday, we'll wake up to some clouds, but we'll see some sun in the afternoon. Most of us are dry Saturday. We could see a few storms in the mountains on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we could see a stray shower or two in the evening, but the better chance for rain and storms is going to be along the North Carolina coast. Scattered showers and storms will be possible. Also in the mountains on Sunday, scattered showers and storms will be possible. For here, it's just about a 30% chance for a storm on Sunday. It'd be later in the day. A pretty nice day today. A mix of sun and clouds, high temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and cool mornings on the way. Low 60s, maybe even upper 50s for some by the time we get to Wednesday. First day of school on Monday looking good. It is dry, warm, high temperatures in the upper 80s. And we mentioned that cool down. The next fall front arrives by the time we get to Tuesday. High temperatures will be in the low 80s. It's going to be nice and crisp out there in the morning. Something to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really comfortable middle of next week, and the back half of next week looks great as well. Also, traffic looking great this morning. This is I-40 at Page Road. You can see no delays heading west or eastbound on I-40, so that's a great sign. And also, heading on 440 on the Beltline this morning, things have looked fantastic. No delays heading west or eastbound. You can see no delays there. We saw a 1 minute delay, I think, for a brief period of time, but that's about it. Then heading to the Bowl City, all has looked great this morning. No delays. Maybe a 1 minute delay from NC50. Heading in the car, tune us in on the radio on 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Grant. Too good to be true. A person offering to repay people's driveway at a low cost. Why law enforcement says you should call them before you give him your money.
Plus, energy concerns. People near Apex are fighting a new proposal to build a data facility. The worries they are taking right to town leadership.
If you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
All right, we got new parents and a very special birthday.
Let's take a look at what's trending. Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown is now a mom.
Oh.
She announced on Instagram that she and her husband, Jake Bon Jovi, have adopted a baby girl. Bon Jovi is the son of rock star John Bon Jovi. The couple got married last year.
And she said she's wanted to be a mom for a very, very long time, so she got her wish. There were 3.
Yeah, they live actually on a farm in Georgia. They enjoy living there, yeah, and now they just now a family of 3.
Love and family farm life. A college basketball icon just celebrated a big birthday. We're talking about Sister Jean. She's now 106 years old. Loyola University Chicago wished her a happy birthday on Instagram yesterday, and she became famous, you may recall, back in 2018 as she cheered on the men's basketball team's run for the Final Four. She's been the chaplain for the team since 1994, and this part's a little sad, she's been sick lately, so they couldn't do the birthday party they normally would, so they did something a little smaller.
Yeah, maybe they can also celebrate later when she feels better. But 106, incredible.
What a life.
The Carolina Panthers now have their sights set on the regular season. The team played its final preseason game last night. It was right here on WRAL. The Panthers lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 19-10. They'll open the regular season on September 7th in Jacksonville.
And Football Friday is back for its 45th season tonight with an all-new start time, folks, 11:15. Our Bojangles game of the week will be Garner at Millbrook Plus. Highlights from more games from around the area. Don't miss all the hard-hitting high school football action, again, happening tonight on WRAL.
If you've been thinking about adopting a furry friend, now is the perfect time to visit your local shelter. Go to WRAL.com/shelters to see all of the exciting adoption events going on this weekend. Wagging tails are waiting for you. Help clear the shelters now through August 31st.
Your time is 6:26. Aaron cleanup. Governor Josh Stein will be on the Outer Banks to assess the damage from waves and overwash, too. What the recovery process is going to look like for people on the coast.
And football is back. Fans and players are getting ready for games across our area. Schools are focusing on safety. The new security measures in place to help keep people safe.
And the weather looks perfect for football Friday. What a way to kick off the season. Dry weather, temperatures in the upper 70s as the games get underway. I'll show you when we could see a few storms over the weekend coming up.